Welcome to level 5, the level where the enemy placement and enemies themselves are at their most challenging, and it's my favorite level for that reason. They just completely flood the screen with bad guys. In case you're wondering what these blue putties do, they have a really long reach. That's their whole thing, they have a longer reach than any of the other putties. Any of the other melee putties anyway, but unlike the bomb throwing putties, they don't just stand in one spot, so they don't take up an entire plane. They also don't spam their attack constantly like the bomb putties do, so overall they're much less difficult. As long as you keep moving, that is. The enemies in this stage also start taking a lot more hits, and I mean a lot more. Throwing is still the way to go, even if it takes a while. I mean, no matter how you approach the stage, it's not going to take more than 5 minutes, so if you don't have that kind of patience, this game probably isn't for you. Because you'd get way too frustrated just trying to button mash it. These purple putties are my favorite enemies in the game. They stomp on the ground, and if they hit the ground while you're standing on the ground, then you get stunned. For each successive jump, they stun you more and more until you actually take damage. And since they can jump out of sync, you have to be really precise with your jumping if you want to take them out, and it's just really fun. Especially when they're on screen with other enemies, meaning you have to pay attention to several things at once. The bomb putties are back, which means those 2 planes they're occupying are now useless to us. The most difficult thing about them is that if they're both occupying the same plane, you have to time your attacks very precisely, otherwise you'll get hit as soon as you finish attacking one of them, because they never stop throwing bombs. Another purple putty will appear, there he is, and as soon as he appears, our new goal is to knock him over as quickly as possible and keep him knocked over. As long as we can throw him on the ground repeatedly, he can't jump, and he will be useless. He takes a lot of hits though, more hits than any of the other putties. We're in pretty good shape, but that section can really chew through your lives if you don't know what you're doing. The most important thing is to keep your eye on the bomb putties and the purple putties. On this next screen there are 3 purple putties at once, and hitting all of them with our special attack was a great coincidence because it means we can kill them all very quickly. Unfortunately, there are 3 bomb putties bunched together, but just like with the purple putties, I managed to strike them all with a single sword swing. Either I had impeccable aiming back there, or we just got really lucky, but either way, that's about as good as that could have gone. Because that enemy placement would have otherwise been the hardest in the game for me. It's very beneficial to group the purple putties together so you can knock them down at the same time. You want to keep the bomb putties separate most of the time though, so that way they can't, litter the screen with bombs and leave you no place to stand. We have some issues on this screen where chasing the purple putty leads us directly into some danger. I should have been paying a bit more attention. Still, we're going to at least survive until we get to the health pickup. There aren't a lot of health pickups in this game, but there are 2 in this stage. Since we still have 5 lives, you might figure we don't need to worry too much, especially this close to the end of the game. But there's a nasty surprise upcoming that will eat your lives away. So you're seeing Goldar here and you're thinking, well, where's the health pickup? The health pickup is not here for the Goldar boss fight, it is after it. What you're seeing me do right here is the optimum strategy for fighting bosses in Beats of Power. I was explicitly trying to save it for the Goldar fight because Goldar moves really fast and he's really difficult otherwise. He's not impossible, but just dashing around the screen until you have your special attack, yeah, that works 100% of the time. He shouldn't even be able to touch you. I did warn you this was coming. I warned you several times, in fact. Now, there is still something you have to watch out for when you use this strategy, and that's actually hitting the boss with your special attack. It's a bit more difficult with Goldar than anyone else because of how erratically Goldar moves. And your special attack only hits right in front of you. This means that you kind of have to bait Goldar or let him walk towards you for a significant period of time being about a second. That's long enough for him to trigger one of his attacks, which can be pretty devastating, and it would definitely finish off the rest of our life. The dodge is a critical flaw in the game, but it's also one of the best things about it, but we'll have time to talk about that later, because Goldar's through. So here's that health pickup I promised, in addition to Dark Warrior. Now, I struggle a significant amount against Dark Warrior for no good reason. He's not all that hard. In fact, the same strategy we used against Goldar still works on him. There are a few things worth talking about with him, though. One of them is that he throws bombs. His bombs have a really significant range, and they hurt a hell of a lot. In addition to that, his sickle has a hell of a range, and it also hurts a lot. This means that standing in front of him at any point in time is a no-go, so you want to come at him from above or below if you're insistent on punching him. There's also the fact that he's incapable of moving normally. To get anywhere, he has to hop around. This makes him incredibly vulnerable because you can hit him immediately after he lands. His attacks really fucking hurt though, in case that wasn't clear, and a couple of goof-ups can take off half your life.